Hi, how are you, Julie?
Oh my gosh, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm a
Okay.
moderator, I'm an author, and I've written a book, a memoir about being Black and biracial in white spaces, and hair is a motif throughout the book. So the healthier I get psychologically, the more my hair goes from straight to curly. That's been my journey, to love the hair that my biological parents gave me. They're my parents, also the people who raised me gave me. And the thing is, it's been thinning in my 50s. And I'm like, God, if I knew you would leave me, I would have loved you sooner. So I embraced my hair and my heritage, but that was not my truth until I was about 35.
Right. And that's a common refrain for so many of us, right? Especially those of us who grew up in the 70s and 80s.
I'm Julie Lithcott-Hames. Want to welcome everybody who's here. I'm super excited to be here for the launch of StyldLife Crown Club. I'm going to be the moderator today, and I'm going to introduce our amazing panel in just a sec. And before that, I'm just going to give you a brief sense of who I am and why I said a big hearty yes when Julie Floyd invited me to be a part of this amazing event. As I said, I'm Julie Lithcott-Hames, she, her, hers. I'm 55 years old and identify as Black. I'm also biracial. I do have a white mother and a Black father, and I raise that because the aspect of my parentage, the biraciality, certainly played a significant role in how my hair went in the early years of my life. Being 55, which I point out for a reason, when I came into the world, people like me were not contemplated as we were not contemplated favorably. To be mixed race in 1967 when I was born was to be an oddity, to be weird. There were no products for hair like mine, and my white mother did her very best. And my Black daddy did his very best, but neither one of them really knew what to do with hair that did this. And so they also were raising me in predominantly white communities, which meant I had no peers who had hair remotely like mine, no mentors with hair like mine. So when you combine when I was coming up, where I was coming up, and just the era we were in, my hair looked like a fuzzy mess most of my young life. I would straighten it with a hot comb, with a curling iron. I would just straighten to try to look like white friends, and it was breaking off, and I would straighten it, and within hours it would be a big poofy frizzy thing. And the boys that I had a crush on in my high school called me Bozo the Clown because of
Oh,
how my hair looked, right? So those were tough times. I fast forward, I became a lawyer. I became a dean at a university. I was on my personal journey to understand, love, and accept who I am. And the healthier I got psychologically around my Blackness, and despite my white mother and my light skin and all of that, I finally located a Black self I could love and feel deeply proud of. And as I did the psychological work to really heal myself from the traumas of being the only one who looked like me in all white spaces, my hair, my natural hair, became something that I could appreciate. So the more healthy I got, the more curly my hair got. And in my mid 30s, I'll say, I really began to wear my hair natural, and it was short at the time. It got longer, it got bigger, it got really big and full. And I have pictures of me with this hair, these kinds of curls, but twice as thick as it is now. When I hit menopause, my hair started to thin, and I experienced such grief. I'm going to call it grief, this deep sadness. Like, if I had only known you were going to leave me, hair, I would have loved you sooner. I cannot believe that I spent from age 8 to age 35 straightening this. Not there's anything wrong for people who do, but I love these curls now. And I only had them since I was 35, and then they began to leave me since I was, at 50. And so I'm in this space of like, oh my God, if I just wish, and I wish for all of us to be self-accepting and self-loving, uh, whatever that may mean for us, as soon as possible. And of course, America has come to embrace hair like this. You know, you didn't used to see pictures in movies or television or advertisements of people who have hair like mine when I was coming up, but you do now. So we who have hair like mine have moved from, you know, out of bounds, pariah, what are you? You're problematic, to, you know, being much more embraced and accepted in a more mainstream way. I actually wrote a memoir about my journey from from the innocence of childhood to this place called self-loathing, where I did not feel I could be myself, to this place of self-love. I sort of have taken this journey in life, and I wrote a memoir called Real American, which is sort of me in an homage to Sojourner Truth. Ain't I a real American? Don't tell me I'm not a real American. And this is me with my natural hair as a baby in Nigeria, where I was born. And but you can already see I'm already upset. You can see I know something is wrong. And I call this my Frederick Douglass face. Look at that furrowed eyebrow, right? Furrowed brow. Anyway, so I've in this book, which is a very vulnerable book about what it has been like to inhabit these features and this skin in mostly white places coming up. Hair is a motif in the book. You know, you hear how my hair is, and you hear when it looked like a tumbleweed, it looked like a mess, a frizzball, Bozo the Clown, and you hear as I emerge into this more healthful place, you see that I'm wearing my hair natural. And so that is a bit about my journey, and why I said yes when Julie Floyd invited me to be a part of this evening. I'm delighted to say I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I have an amazing curl consultant named Kia, the curl consultant, who knows exactly how to hold my hair lovingly in her hands. She is so expensive. You know, it's like a splurge, but man, am I glad she's there. And when I come out of those appointments, I just feel that my hair has been treated to the most exquisite spa. And so it's time for me to get back in there. All right, enough about me. I'm going to say a little bit about Styled Life, and then I'm going to turn to the amazing panelists who are going to walk us through their journey. We want you to know that Styled Life is a virtual styling platform aimed at providing unique and personalized imaging consulting, ranging from hair, makeup, and fashion, by connecting leading industry professionals to clients from the comfort of our homes. And Styled Life is now newly excited to share an extension of all of that through what's called the Crown Club. Julie Floyd, who is here in the beautiful green plaid jacket there. Julie Floyd is the founder and creator of Styled Life, and is going to share her story and a brief synopsis of what inspired her to start the Crown Club. And Julie, what I just want to say to you, just, you know, Black woman to Black woman, gratitude to you for creating Styled Life. Super excited about the Crown Club. Julie and I live in the same area. She's a local mom. She's a business owner. I was delighted when she founded Styled Life, and I'm really excited to hear what Styled Life Crown Club is about. So Julie Floyd, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate all of that. Certainly appreciate you being here. And I just want to quickly touch on two things that you said. One, please share again your local curly hairstylist. That's one of the things I'm going to talk about as to how I got to Styled Life. But the other thing is, you know, I did read Julie's book, Real American, a few years ago. And, you know, during that time, going through my own hair journey, and I'm going to share a bunch of pictures with you guys, feel free to laugh out loud. But one of the things I found was how lonely it was, feeling as though I didn't have access to anyone who could help me with my hair journey. And then reading Julie's book and knowing that I had a lot of the exact same feelings about, you know, what I would be like with natural curly hair growing up. That was a way of even feeling some sense of community through a word on a page. So thank you for that. So yes, I'm Julie Floyd, founder of Styled Life. For those of you that don't know me, Styled Life is a global platform enabling anyone, anywhere to get styled by industry leading and celebrity stylists through virtual appointments. Why is that important? Well, one reason is, you know, my experience growing out my natural hair was one of my inspirations for creating Styled Life. And I'm gonna, as I'm talking, flip through and show you a bunch of pictures through my journey. And then we'll talk about a few of them. Okay, so in 2009, I saw the Chris Rock movie Good Hair. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this movie. And I'd love to say that learning about how toxic straightening chemicals are for the body was enough for me to say I'm done, but it wasn't. It simply wasn't. It did get me thinking about it though. And at the time, my kids, I have 3 kids that are all very young. And at the time, every now and then they would say to me, Mom, why don't you have hair like ours? Why is our hair curly and yours is straight? Right? So I didn't even know what my curly hair would look like at the time. I had chemically relaxed hair from the time I was a very young child. I had no idea what it would look like. And I certainly didn't feel any confidence in going natural. But it did occur to me, oh my gosh, my kids all have various degrees of amazing curly hair. But would I also be able to wear curly hair? I didn't know. So it wasn't until 2014, actually, that I built up the courage to stop relaxing my hair, even though I watched that film in 2009. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea how to do it. And I had no idea what products to use. And where I live in this small community, I actually struggled to find a hairstylist who would teach me how to style my natural hair without damaging it. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. So I was really left on my own. I had no idea who to talk to, what to do. And I grew frustrated with Google searches, attempts to find stylists in my local area, and people who would help me. And I kept thinking to myself, if only I had access to an expert, someone anywhere in the country who could guide me along the way and teach me how to do my natural hair for different occasions. In the meantime, I started with weekly blow dry and flat iron appointments because where we live, Julie and I, there are a number of blow dry bars. And nobody told me that having my hair blown dry and then flat ironed once a week would ruin the curls I was trying to grow out. Okay. No one told me that because they didn't have experience with naturally textured hair either. And so they didn't know. So during this time, I also tried weaves. I think you guys have probably seen one of those pictures. This, I just want to point out, was one time I actually did book an appointment with StyldLife and for a theme party. And I just love this so much because one of the things I didn't know how to do was any kind of a style for my own hair. And this one came out so great and I love this. So I wanted to include this. And so finally, I stopped doing weaves, but I still didn't know how to care for or style my hair, right? So I just kind of had hair on top of my head. And, as like a busy person, I didn't have the time or honestly even the interest to spend hours like looking through YouTube videos or looking through Instagram or whatever, looking at what's working for other people. I mean, I always wanted like personalized attention, like what's going to work for me, right? Because a lot of people don't have that time. So, a few years on and slowly things are beginning to improve with like the hair in my head, right? Slowly working things out. As you can see, it's starting to look more like a hairstyle. But one of the things I saw over the course of building out the StyldLife business and and working with stylists myself, is that other people were booking appointments at StyldLife looking for the same thing. Other women with black or textured hair looking for help with how to grow hair, how to take care of hair, and how to especially style it, at different lengths, and different types of curls. So this is happening. And then a few years ago, I heard about the passage of the Crown Act. And the Crown Act was passed first in the state of California, where I live. And what it means, it's like California was the first state to legislate that no one could be discriminated against at the workplace or in school for their natural, kinky hair or any kind of hairstyles. And we all know that this has been a big problem. So now a number of states have adopted the Crown Act, but very few. We're still under 20. I think it's only 13 states actually that have adopted the Crown Act. But I was so inspired by the Crown Act and thinking about, myself, my questions, my journey, and other people that had come to StyldLife, that I decided to create a club for anyone who wants to learn how to grow, care for, and style natural crowns. So naming the club the StyldLife Crown Club was an obvious choice for me. It's an homage to the Crown Act and all of the people who have worked to get the Crown Act passed in their states and continue to do the work. And we all do have our beautiful crowns that we wear in different ways and want to learn how to wear in different ways. So the next two pictures I'm going to show you are also from StyldLife hair appointments that I had, where, and I can see Erica Joy smiling at these. Erica Joy's helped me a number of times with my hair, but I just love this. So, like, this is the kind of thing that a lot of people are looking for, how can I style my hair? If you've lived decades with chemically straightened hair, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what tools to use. You don't know what products to use. But when I've used StyldLife, I've loved the results. And this is also, again, my natural hair. And I was going to a formal event and wanted an elegant updo, and was able to get there with the help of a one-on-one personal appointment with StyldLife. So now I'm just going to go back and show you some of these fun pictures from my growth days. I mentioned that no one told me weekly hair dries and flat irons would ruin my hair. And here you can see like the sad state of reality. So you can see that like the little straight bits that were left from the chemical in the back, with like the curls kind of coming in the back of my hair, but the front, it's just destroyed, right? It's like, it was so hard to get any curls there. And so I had a number of times over these years where I really just had to do like big cuts and pretty much start all over again. Here's another one. You can see like, I thought I was trying to like curl the ends to make it match the natural hair, but really it's just a mess. This was one of the weaves. I'm sure when it went in, it looked good for like a couple days, maybe a couple of weeks, but this is what, how I looked out and about. So you guys, I've all been on a journey as well. And then again, most days you would have seen me like this, with just my hair pulled back in like, a tie, and that's it. I wanted to show you that. I have to say, okay, so I've been through the blow dry phase, and I've been through the weave phase, and I've had braids a couple of times. A lot of it was awkward. I've spent a ton of time and money. This has been an 8-year journey for me to today. A ton of time and money to get where I am. I'm super glad I stuck with it and did it. But I also know that had I had community, had I had resources at hand, had I had different people to talk to who I could have access to. I could ask them questions. They could reply to my questions. I really feel like I might not have gone through some of these interesting hair periods, let's just say, as long as I did. So my hope is that all of you who have decided you are interested in the Crown Club, that what you'll get from us is the guidance and expertise and community you need to support you wherever you are on your natural textured hair growth journey. The Crown Club and our stylists really have everything you need, so you won't have to spend the hours I did or the years I did scouring the internet, wondering what's going to work for you, what won't for you, or what won't work for you. And so I'm really pleased that you guys are all here. You are going to get introductions from a few of our amazing content contributors who will be hosting monthly webinars for you in our Crown Club. I am just going to point out that we also have a few giveaways that we're going to do at the end of the hour here, so stick with us. And I'm already a little bit over on time, so I'm going to throw it back to Julie and let her introduce the content contributors. But stay with us, and we've got a bunch of great giveaways at the end.
Julie, thank you so much for walking us through your journey, and great to have the stories accompanied by photos. A picture speaks 1,000 words, and it was really great to see your beautiful self and the various phases that you've been through with your hair. For this first webinar, we've brought together industry-leading natural hair experts ranging from professional stylists, brand owners, to influencers to form a panel who are going to say a little bit about themselves, and then we're going to get to Q&A. So first up is Lana Simone from Miami, Florida. Lana has been a social media influencer since 2016. She is very passionate about promoting self-love and inspiring everybody to be comfortable in their own skin. She loves to showcase the creativity and versatility of natural hair. Lana.
That was a great introduction. Thank you so much, Julie. Well, like she said, I have been creating content since 2016. Once I graduated college, that was kind of when I got my start with creating content. And I mean, when I started to embrace my natural hair, social media wasn't a place where you went to, look for the mini tutorials and, oh, what should I use? It was just pictures at the time. I think they also had the 15-second, short videos, but either way, it's not what it was today back then. So for me, it was very much just trying different products, trying different methods, and trying to figure it out, because I was the only one for most of my life who grew up with hair like mine. All of my friends had relaxers. So, as a kid, kids can be really mean, so when you're in grade school, middle school, coming back in from recess, from PE, I'm coming in with the huge hair, and all my friends, all their edges are laid. And I'm like, well, why can't my hair look like that? And a lot of my childhood, it was a fight between myself and my mom, because I wanted a relaxer. Since I could talk, I had wanted straight hair. My best friend, she didn't look like me and she had straight hair. And I just remember wondering, like, why is it that she has straight hair and I don't? I battled with that a lot. My mom was very adamant about it. You're not getting a relaxer. Your hair's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And, over the years, I kind of just had to start embracing it and saying, okay, well, this is something that makes me unique. Not everybody has hair that looks like this. And at that point, I was like, okay, like this is something I can work with. And I really just made it a point to just figure it out, because I'm like, hey, this is what you're born with. This is what you got. Just kind of roll with it. And one of my main goals for starting my content creation journey for other naturals was just to help people out. Like, I figured it out. I would have loved to be me when I was figuring it out and watching my content and seeing the things that I'm posting, and just having that person to really assist when it comes to the natural hair journey, because sure, a lot of you guys know it's not easy. It's not easy. And I wish that somebody would have told me how much patience that you need for natural hair, because sometimes it does feel like a part-time, a full-time job. You definitely need time to put into it. And I also wish that somebody would have told me about the upper body strength that you need as well, because some of these styles, you guys know, it's a little taxing. So that's a little bit about my story. I just hope that I can continue to inspire, the natural hair community, and just have everybody just love what they're born with, because it's beautiful.
Lana, thank you so much for that. And I couldn't help but reflect on my own daddy, who was adamant that I would not have a relaxer. And because he had seen the damage that had been done to women and girls' hair with relaxers. So he didn't want that for me, but neither of my parents knew what they did want for me.
Mm,
And so I was in this limbo of, why can't I have what other people have,
right.
or what my white friends sort of seem to inherently have with their straight. Anyway, so thank
Mm.
you for bringing the love to the work. Okay, next up is Erica Joy Gardner in Tampa, Florida. Erica Joy is a natural hair care expert with over 14 years of experience in the industry. Her passion for Black hair care started at a young age, and she's dedicated her career to helping women embrace their natural beauty and feel confident in their skin. She's on a mission to educate the masses on the importance of overall health and its contribution to hair growth and hair maintenance. Erica Joy.
Hello, everyone. Indeed, my name is Erica Joy Gardner. I've been natural for, I don't even know how many, I think 13 years at this point. And I've been a cosmetologist for about 15 years now. My start to becoming natural was by accident. It wasn't on purpose per se. I've been getting relaxers since I was maybe 10 years old. And I never stopped. I never stopped until I decided one day that I wanted a pixie cut. And I wanted my pixie cut to have colors down the center. And of course, when you have a pixie cut that's relaxed and you put all these different colors in your hair, you can't put relaxer over color. So I had no other choice but to allow my hair to grow out. And when it did, I would go to the salon and have them use the Marcells to kind of straighten it. And one day I went to the salon and the stylist, he washed it. And when he shampooed and conditioned my hair, he said, "Oh my gosh, you have such beautiful curls." He's like, "You should really just let me cut the relaxer off and you should just wear your curls." And I looked up and I'm like, "You're out of your mind." I'm like, "You're going to straighten my hair and I'm getting out of here today." So that was my take. And he's like, "I can't believe you won't do this." He's like, "It's okay. Some years from now, I'm going to see you and you're going to be a little old lady and you're going to be trying to wear your curls and everybody's going to know that you have curls." And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But it sparked something within me. And I began to think about it and continue to allow the relaxer to grow out. And eventually I went ahead and I cut off the relaxer and started wearing the curls. And you know what? It was fine with me. And I realized that it was very versatile. I can cut it into cute little styles like this. I can let it grow out. I can straighten it. I can wear it curly or not, whatever I want to do. And when I realized the versatility of it, that's when I began to, I aspired to help others to do the same thing, to help them to understand that you might not have actual curls, but that's okay. We can find something to do with your hair. There's something for everybody to do with their hair. So once I realized that that was an option, I began exploring different ways to help others to embrace their curls, but also not just embracing your natural hair, not just embracing your curls, but having an understanding that, everybody has all these things and these worries about what their hair looks like, and they don't even allow their hair a chance. And then once they do, it continues to break. And one of the reasons that your hair continues to break is because you don't take care of your overall health. So once I started realizing that, then I went down the road of trichology rather than just being a stylist. So now that I've been doing my studies as a trichologist, my journey now is to just help people with their overall health so that they can rock their beautiful afro or curls or, kinks and coils without it breaking and without it being compromised because of their health. And that's basically what I'll be contributing during my time here is helping people to understand the importance of health and hair.
Erica Joy, thank you for that. Give us one sentence description of what trichology is in case people don't know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I always do that. So trichology is actually the study of hair loss and scalp diseases. So we study hair loss and we treat hair loss. We treat scalp diseases, treat issues with the scalp, of course. Anything that's dealing with the hair and the
Okay.
scalp is basically what trichologists deal with.
Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
introducing yourself. Next up is Miyoshi Dorsey, and Miyoshi is in Los Angeles, California. She's the founder and CEO of Mind for Wellness, goes by M4W. M4W utilizes a holistic therapeutic approach for the mind, body, and spirit by providing talk therapy, administering wellness products, and offering spiritual support. Miyoshi, take us in that direction.
Hello, everybody. So I just come from a different background. First of all, just thank you for inviting me on this platform with these beautiful women, with this awesome opportunity. Mind for Wellness just basically started off as a mental health endeavor, but as I began to progress, I realized that there was more to the mental health as the entire body, the entire person involves not only our thought processes, but also the health that she was talking about, the health of our body, and also the spiritual side of us. So that's why I have decided to go in a different direction with mindful wellness, besides just focusing on the mind. Now, as you guys were talking, I was thinking about my hair journey, and I recall the situation when I was about 8 years old. And so when I was younger, as most of us probably were, with the long, thick hair all down your back, my mother, she used to always complain about combing my hair every single day because I was what you call tender-headed. And so I would cry and, Mom, please, I don't want to get my hair done. And so eventually, after she complained to my dad about it, my dad called me in the kitchen one day after I came home from school. And he said, I want you to sit down here in this chair. And because my dad was this, very hard disciplinarian, I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Did I do my chores? I was just all worried. And then he goes, just sit here for a minute. He turns around, opens the cabinet, pulls out a plastic bowl, puts the bowl on my head, and then began cutting around the edge of the bowl. I was so traumatized as a child, and I'm walking around like a little Black Chinese girl, with all this thick hair, but it's all like a little round. I don't know if you want to call it a bob, but it was a homemade bob. But needless to say, I was traumatized then, and so I think reflecting back on that incident, I know my father probably meant well as he was trying to help my mom better manage my hair. But to me, it was like my hair wasn't enough. It was a reflection of who I was, even though I grew up with this hair. And eventually I let my hair grow out. And then I wanted to further manage my hair. And then I went through the stage, as one of you were talking about, pressing your hair. I think it was Julie F. talking about getting your hair pressed every single 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, it was without fail. Sitting in the salon for 8 hours, sometimes getting your hair burned, and not knowing, because you have all this hair and you pick your hair up and you're like, oh my God, my hair's burned. So one day I asked my stylist, I said, if you burn my hair, will you tell me? And my stylist said, absolutely not. And from that day on, I said, okay, I pay you all this money to do my hair. I spend 8 hours each time I come here. You know what? I'm going to go on this natural hair journey. And so I say for the last 16 years, and that was some time ago, I just said, I'm just going to do this. But I had, just like Julie F was saying, I had nowhere to go. I didn't know who to ask. There was no social media, videos, products were very few. So over the years, I spent so much money just spending money on different products, different things. Try this, try that. And even now, as I get older, your hair pattern changes, the texture of your hair changes. So it's still an ongoing process, but my hair really hasn't been as healthy as it's always been. It's been as healthy as it's ever been. Yesterday I had my hair cut, so it looks kind of crazy. I'm trying to figure out what am I gonna do with this haircut. But it is a journey, but I think it really allows us just to be ourselves, just to accept who we are. And not to think that just because I was born like this or someone else thinks my hair should be straight, or, we grew up watching on TV, these people with straight hair, these are beautiful people, if it's permed, and then you're putting yourself in all these different situations where you're damaging your scalp, you're damaging your hair, and then you're really not really dealing with the self-esteem issue. So I can go on and on about this, but yes, this has really been a journey for me. And I say to all those out there, just look for an expert and seek advice on how to better care for your hair. Not only just the hair care, but also your health, as Erica Joy was talking about.
Thank you, Miyoshi.
You're
And
welcome.
our final panelist is Jody Ann Whittingham of Queens, New York. Jody Ann is a natural hair care expert with over 14 years of experience in the industry. She dedicated her career to helping women embrace their natural beauty and feel confident in their skin. Jody Ann.
Okay, great. So I'm Jody, and I've been on my natural hair journey since 2011. But before that, I was on my relaxed hair journey in 2009. And how the entire hair care thing started, my chemically relaxed hair got extremely damaged. And I remember I went to the stylist, and I was there, and for the first time in real life, I saw like this woman with really extremely long hair. And I remember sitting there and I was like, oh my God, I want my hair to look or to grow exactly like hers. And my stylist at the time, she was like, listen, if you're not meant to have hair like that, you're never going to have it. And besides, I'm going to have to cut all of your hair off right now because it's extremely damaged. And when she said that, I was like, how short? And she was like, extremely short. And for me at that time, I wasn't willing to let go because like so many Black women, our self-esteem is tied to our hair. And I always hear this thing and see this thing, oh, it's just hair. No, it's not. It's not just hair. And if you've if you met someone who's losing hair because of cancer, or they're probably just losing hair maybe because of stress or something like that, when you see the hopelessness in their eyes, then you know for sure that it's not just hair. So I tried to transition. When I started my hair journey at the time, I was fortunate to find a site called hairlista.com. I found this site when I went home the same day when the stylist said I had to cut my hair off. I went to Google, I remember this, and I typed Black woman with long hair. And there I was just exposed to a world of women, with extremely long hair. And there was this site called hairlista.com. It was like the Facebook of hair. So, it was like the MySpace at that time. Women would go and create a profile and they will upload their progress in terms of where they're coming from. You saw techniques, products that they were using. That for me was like my social media. And I remember going home from work every day. I was on that site for hours, just looking at different women, hair type, and just studying what they were doing. I'm like, okay, let me try what they're doing. And I realized that it worked for me. So, just be consistent, have patience, and definitely something that Erica Joy shared, your diet, what you eat and what you put into the body, all of that, I found that was, really good. So after I watched the Chris Rock, Good Hair, and that scene, the man put the chemical, the soda can, and it turned white, and that was it for me. Like, I was like, nope, that's it. Transition for 1 year, did a big chop. I mean, there was no hair on my head. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this journey one day at a time. I'm not looking for fast results. And within being consistent with my hair journey, I was able to get to the first time I got to waist length. That took me 7 years. A lot of women, they see my hair, they'll be like, oh my God, how do you do it? So like, oh, 7 years. Oh, I can do that. I can dedicate 7 years to moisturizing and sealing, keeping your scalp clean, drinking water, taking vitamins, eating stuff, and just taking care of your body. Yes, that is extremely important. So I started making some hair things for myself, and the intent was never to sell it. And a very good friend in Jamaica, she was like, Jody, you should sell these. I was like, well, why? No one is going to buy it. And then there are so many other options there in the market. Who is going to support little old me? But she was like, it's working for you, and you are doing this because you really want to help. So I did, and I launched a business in Jamaica. It was, it blew up. We were in one of Jamaica's largest retail store. I met my husband and I migrated to New York. So this is just me, just starting the process over. So basically, I am so excited to be a part of the Crown Club because I have so much knowledge. I've had setbacks, I've had breakage, I've broken down and cried. I've worn styles that almost took my hair out, and I had to start over from scratch or to recover from that. So I plan to share a lot of the troubleshooting aspect of natural hair, and in terms of how we can find the right techniques to work for us. So that's it.
Thank you, Jody Ann. Appreciate you. You know what I'm hearing, Jody Ann, let's see, from Miyoshi, the trauma of being mishandled by daddy, right? He put that ball on your head, and that was trauma. And let us not mince words. That was trauma that it took you a long time to get over. Erica Joy, it took someone else to tell you. Your stylist said, you have some beautiful curls. And sometimes we need to hear it from somebody completely different than us to appreciate who we actually are. But of course, ultimately, we have to be that self-loving person. As Jody Ann said, self-esteem is tied to hair, right? It's never just hair. And Lana, you told that story of having a different set of hair than everybody you grew up with. And your mother said, no, you are not going to do damage to this. Your hair is beautiful. And we're going to figure out, how it shall be. So a lot of beautiful stuff shared. And of course, Julie sharing her journey as well. We're going to turn to questions from the audience. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask our panelists, I'm going to get us started on the Q&A with this question. What is one thing you wish you would have known either before going natural, or a tip you have learned that has helped you on the natural journey that you wish you knew? And I'm just going to invite you to speak as you are so moved to speak rather than call on you. So who wants to take that first?
I'll go. So one of the things I've learned is just not to look at someone else's texture or curl pattern and how the hair is able to sleek. Because guess what? I have tried all the gels in the world. My hair, I cannot get like a sleek, straight ponytail. And I've come to just embrace that. It's just my hair's natural personality. So then I just try to find ways in terms of, okay, so my hair type is fine. It's high porosity. So it's going to frizz. It's going to frizz a lot. So I can buy all these products and all these gels and go out in where the climate is humid. Naturally, the hair is going to frizz. So just accept your hair. It may not be sleek. You may not get those curls. You may not be able to do a wash and go. But, as Erica Joy says, there are different styles that you can try. Maybe a twist out that can work, or a lot of different options are there. So I just want to say that to people, don't be mad if your hair is not able to stay sleek or to stay smooth. Accept it, and you'll be surprised the different things you can do to it while it's in its frizzy state.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of what she said, it's important for you to try those different styles so that you can understand what your hair can and can't do. Because I know that we'll get defeated. Once you try one thing and it doesn't work out, you don't want to try anything else, and you say, okay, forget it, I'm giving up, I'm just gonna go back to whatever it is that I was doing before. But it's true, you do have to try a lot of different, like I always wanted to wear a twist out, but every time I try a twist out, it looks a hot mess on a platter. Like I've never been able to get it to work. So I'm like, you know what, wash and go is the way to go. I just have to take a little bit more extra care of my hair, because of course, with wash and goes, if you're not careful and you don't use products that are really moisturizing, you can pop your hair. You really can. So I had to just realize that I'm just a wash and go girl. I just have to make sure that I have serums and different things that'll protect it from damage and just keep it in a good state, because my hair too is fine like yours. So it's but everybody has something different, and you just have to try those different things before you actually knock them. Try everything that you possibly can without damaging your hair, within reason. Try what you can to figure out what your hair can and cannot do.
Yes.
I like to say this. For me, I would say it's important not to listen to other people. And what I mean by that is, when I first started my journey, people were asking me, why would you wear your hair natural and your hair was so pretty when it was pressed, and not knowing my backstory. And so to them, they kept perpetuating beauty with straight hair. And at first it was kind of discouraging because I didn't really know how to care for my hair. I didn't know, like I said, there were no products there. There were no videos for me to follow back 17 years ago. So I was a little frustrated, but after a while I just said, I have to not allow the naysayers say things to me to discourage me for something that I really want to do. And that is to discover what my natural hair pattern is, and to be free about it and be okay with it.
I guess I'll go next. Something that I wish that I knew sooner. I guess when it comes to trying products, I am somebody who I go based off of the feel of my hair. So if I'm using a product, even if it says moisturizing, whatever it says on the bottle, if it doesn't make my hair feel like physically feel moisturized, I know it's not for me. Additionally, when it comes to mixing products, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I definitely have, trying to mix products, and then when it dries in your hair, you have like flakes everywhere because they didn't mix well together. So something that I started doing before I style my hair, I would mix those two products in my hand and kind of just look and see what it's doing. And if it looks clumpy, if it looks like cottage cheesy, in a sense, I know that that's not a good mixture. But if I mix it together and it's clear, or it kind of has that like glazed donut look, I know that that's a good mixture for my hair. So just little tips and tricks that have kind of helped me, I guess, save time in the long run, because, if you got flakes everywhere, how long can you really rock that style for, So that's just my little tip that I've learned along the way.
Nice. And Lana, your mother is here. I'm going to give her a nod right now. She's in the Q&A saying, I later found out that your hair texture changes after you get your period. So you need to be patient and wait until that has happened to see the real texture. Great advice from mom there. I just want to summarize. So Lana said, I go off the feel of my hair and also putting the products together and paying attention to what are they doing in the palm so I can be smart about what they're going to do in my head. Jody Ann said, don't compare to others. Learn your hair's natural personality. I love that. Erica Joy said, try different styles, everything you can within reason. And Miyoshi said, don't listen to other people perpetuating the notion that beauty equals straight hair. All right, let's turn to the questions here. We've got one from Lisa Perry. And let me invite this. I'd like one person to answer. If you know that you've got an answer, answer it. Everyone else, don't feel obligated, but add something if you need to, okay? So for the sake of time, we're going to get through as many questions as we can. All right, Lisa, what suggestions do you have for traveling, especially if we're going carry-on and are limited to 3-ounce bottles? Don't be limited to carry-on. Sometimes we need to take our products with us. I travel as an author, and sometimes I have to say, you know what, I'm gonna have to check my bag because my hair is gonna need more than these 3 ounces.
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, when it comes to traveling, I pack that to put it on the plane, I pay for it. I don't like to limit myself. You just never know how much products you're gonna need when it comes to 3-day trips, 2-week trips. I mean, I just like to be fully prepared, and you can't always find the products that you need readily accessible wherever you're at. So I just check my bags every time. So I don't really know.
I guess the other answer is you can have as many 3-ounce bottles as you want. So, that does get cumbersome in the travel size stuff. All right, let's go to Shanetta, who's asking, what are the best vitamins and oils for our hair?
Okay, so, oh, you want to answer it, Miyoshi?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to vitamins, I'll talk about the vitamins portion of it. You want to be careful with that because you don't want to put things in your body that you don't need. I would suggest that you make sure you get your blood work done and get a bioresonance test, which is a hair analysis, before you talk about vitamins. And the reason that I say that is because many times we're missing certain nutrients that could cause hair loss. So if you don't know what those things are and you just start on a multivitamin or you start with it, and I just got to be honest, I'm against multivitamins because of this reason. If you start on those things and you take too much of something, you actually could cause hair loss to be an issue in your life. If you didn't have it before, you could potentially have it. Too much vitamin D and not enough vitamin K with that vitamin D could cause it. If you're taking vitamin D with vitamin C and vitamin B, you're combating certain things. So you got to be really careful. The first course of action, go get your blood work done, do a bioresonance test. A bioresonance, again, is doing a hair analysis. There are some doctors that'll do a hair trace analysis test for you, or mineral trace analysis test, or you can find one online and see what nutritional values are imbalanced in your body before you do that. That's my suggestion to you. But if you want to know things that'll help with hair growth, it would be zinc. You do need vitamin D. You do need selenium. Those are certain things that help, but go get your blood work done first.
All right, thank you. Miyoshi, did you need to say something on that or can I move on? Move on. Okay, Julaine, I want you to know you've got a question for Jody. Where can we get your products now to buy? That information will be in the chat shortly, so hang on for that. Me Green is asking, does anyone have any hat suggestions? What hat style can accommodate our beautiful full crown? Not a baseball hat, please.
Okay, so there's this brand that I found. It's called the Lazy Hat. So they do have like baseball hats, but they do have like a beanie and other styles there. So basically what she did was to line the inside of the hat with like a satin material, and then she just sew on some hair on it. So if you're deep conditioning or you're going to make an errand and you want your hair to look presentable, you can put that on. So that's one suggestion.
Okay, let's move on to Roxanne's question. Why did my hair grow so fast when I was wearing a jerry curl? And once I stopped wearing the jerry curl, hair grows very slow. Anybody know?
Okay. Okay, so from a cosmetologist standpoint, I've heard that before. I really have.
Me too.
You have, right?
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
have.
not the only one. It's so funny when people say that. So you got to figure out what you're doing differently than when you had a jerry curl. Now I know when people have jerry curls, one of the things that I notice is that they are very adamant about making sure that their hair stays moist. They always want to keep their hair moisturized. They're always spraying something or putting something on their hair. Some of my perm clients today, they do the same thing. I don't do jerry curls because jerry curls aren't really a thing anymore. But I've noticed that the first question they always ask, okay, now that I got this perm, what do I put on my hair? And I'm like, so when your hair was straight, you wasn't worried about what to put on your hair? So they're very consistent when it comes to that. So the question would be, what are you doing differently now that you don't have the jerry curl? Would be the question, the follow-up question.
Fair. Okay, let's go here to LaQuashan. Has anyone ever experienced where you flat iron and hair won't revert back to natural?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know if we've all been there. I've definitely been there with heat damage.
Mhm.
I mean, I was straightening my hair just about every day in grade school, all the way up until college. So I had no curls. They were non-existent. But for me, I haven't really figured out a way to kind of get those curls to revert. For me, it was just a matter of waiting, doing my trims, and kind of just cutting off that heat damage, unfortunately. I know we like to hold on to the inches and the length a lot of the time. But when it comes to heat damage, at least through my experience, it's just kind of just waiting and, just trimming it off when you can.
Okay. I don't mean to be a hog with it, but as a cosmetologist, so if you are using a titanium flat iron, that's the reason that you have heat damage. If you're not using any heat protectant, that's the reason you have heat damage. So titanium flat irons are a big problem. Of course, not putting it on the right heat settings and not using heat protectants. Those are the three, number one, the key things, the key reasons that people actually have heat damage done to their hair. Because you absolutely can straighten your nice curls and they can revert back to curls if you use the right things. So.
Let me go to a couple questions that reflect age and stage of life, changes of life. We got a question from LaQuashan. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say your name right, my friend. I would love to know where the accent is on this beautiful name. LaQuashan is asking about advice for health and hair with diabetes. If you have diabetes, how does that impact hair? And then LaShawn is asking, what about menopause? What are some things we can do as if we're shifting to menopause that relates to thinning hair and shedding other than taking estrogen?
Okay, sorry.
Good.
I feel so bad.
You got America Joy. Keep going.
Okay, so diabetes. We know that the main thing that most people are on is metformin. It definitely does cause hair loss and hair breakage. And the only thing that right now what we can do for that is getting that blood work done, maybe switching to a holistic care doctor, trying to figure out if there's a way to balance your sugar by doing natural supplements. That's my first course of action. Sometimes you can ask the doctor to lower the dosage of your metformin. Sometimes they say it is already the lowest, but it's not always the lowest. So those are some things that as a trichologist, you would go see a trichologist and they can help you with along those lines with working with your doctor. And as what was the other one to get? The other one was with estrogen and hair loss. That is a common thing. And again, that requires you to get your blood work done, get the bioresonance test, and try your best to see a holistic care doctor that will recommend supplements for you. There are hair loss treatments that are stem cell treatments that you can get that will stop the thinning and will stop the breakage and increase fullness of the hair and density of the hair. But those are very costly. And I do them for people, but I do not do them without first doing a bioresonance and a blood work test first.
Well, with an eye on the time, I think I'm going to turn things back over to Julie Floyd. I want to thank everybody for great questions and thank our panelists for great answers. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So I'm super excited by the questions we're getting, the expert answers we're getting. It really makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside because this is exactly what I want in the Crown Club community, a place where we can go, we can ask our questions, whatever they are, and learn from all of you guys and more and from each other. We are a couple minutes over time. But here's what I want to do. I will keep all of these questions. There are a couple announcements I need to make. We will be moving into Mighty Networks in a couple of months into a paid version of the Crown Club. And we would love to have all of you join with your friends. We're going to do another free webinar April 6th, I believe it. Today's April 6th, my bad. It's going to be May 5th. That's right, May 5th is going to be our next webinar. And we invite all of you to join that. It's going to be, the class is Why Your Protective Styles Aren't Working. And Lana, is this one, Jody Ann, is this one yours?
Yes.
Yes, Jody Ann is going to be hosting this webinar. So please mark your calendars up, go to our Facebook page, look for our Crown Club Facebook group. We're going to have a whole bunch of free material in there that's always updated, always current. And of course, our paid platform will have a whole bunch of additional material, coming your way. There's so much we've got planned. We're super excited about it. I'm gonna keep these questions, and I think what we'll do is get some answers to them and maybe put these in the Facebook group because I'm looking, there are so many great questions here. Thank you all so much, each and every one of you on the panel. A huge thank you to Julie Lithcott-Hames, who is, she's always got something on her plate. She does so much for our local community and for everyone. I do encourage you to buy and read her, oh no, her books. I've actually read them all. They're fantastic, Real American. She's also written a couple of other great books, How to Raise an Adult and Your Turn. Amazing book. So please, everyone, hope to see you guys at our next webinar. We're super happy that you joined us tonight. Thank you all for staying over a few minutes, and let's learn about our crowns and wear them well.